Yes, everyone, welcome back to Forever United TV. Yes, this isn't our usual time, but we could have the most important update yet in the Benjamin SESKO saga and where he will end up this summer. Which club is he going for? Now, you can hear the excitement in my voice, which should tell you one thing, and there is news breaking from Germany. And we will verify this. We'll get through it all. We'll go into the story now. But Benjamin SESKO wants Manchester United, not Newcastle. It has come from Jan Fjortov. Yes, that guy who used to play for Swindon Town. Now German reporter specialising in the Bundesliga. I've actually met Jan Fjortov, actually, funnily enough, on the tube going to Wembley when we beat Manchester City. Crazy story. But yes, top guy. And he is well known for stories in Germany. There's a lot of reporting now as well, a lot of punditry also, but he has come out today and said that Benjamin SESKO wants Manchester United. We're going to get into all of this because Romano will get giving us another update on Benjamin SESKO as well. We've had a lot of accounts going online talking up Benjamin SESKO to Manchester United just this morning. In fact, the last hour has really hotted up when it's come to Benjamin SESKO and what's actually happening with the transfer, and it's all leading towards the Manchester United side of things. That's all we can say really from this. I'll read through everything that's going on. Get your comments in. We'll give a few people a chance to actually get in the room. It is a flash news, breaking news story this. We've not built it up into anything else. We're just going live straight away with this news on Fjortov coming out saying that Benjamin SESKO prefers a move to Manchester United over Newcastle United. That is what he's hitting. I'll keep repeating it as people join in the room. So if you have been watching from the start, I do apologise, but we are going to keep everyone up to date. So first of all, what's happened so far and what's been going on? Well, I'll tell you exactly what has been going on, and this has come straight from Fabrizio Romano first of all. And well, he said that Manchester United, so this has just come out, so let me bring this up now. 1 second, let me just find it now. I did have it here with me a moment ago. Sorry, I need to be a bit more prepared regarding this and everything that's happening, but we've got it here now. Here we go. Manchester United had a direct contact with RB Leipzig in the last 48 hours to start concrete talks about Benjamin SESKO deal. Details with suggestions on a meeting taking place in face-to-face talks in the past few days. Romano has been talking about United coming in on this, but he's elaborated and gone into a little bit more detail. This was before the Fjortov news, so Romano came out first and said this. So, face-to-face talks with Leipzig in the last 48 hours. Now, the story behind Romano and what he's going with Benjamin SESKO is that there is a gentleman's agreement which Manchester United are checking in on in these actual meetings, which is where the player goes to RB Leipzig with a club that he wants to go to. There is an agreement in place where there is a fixed fee and fixed add-ons. So it's between 60 and 70 million euros fixed. And there is add-ons, €5 million add-ons on top of that. So if SESKO approaches Leipzig with a club that he wants to go to, there is some form of deal which Manchester United have met with Leipzig and checked up on, according to Romano, to see if it's real, where SESKO gets to go to that football club for them conditions. That's what Romano has said. There has also been several reports, and this has come through Gimme Sport and Fabrizio Romano in the last hour. There is also other reports talking about the Newcastle bid being in and there, and they've had to go and do that because SESKO does not want to go to Newcastle. He is more interested in the Manchester United projects. And then we get an even bigger bombshell of news coming through, which is the news which we are going with now, when Benjamin SESKO prefers a move to Manchester United. This is exactly what Jan Fjortov has just tweeted out. So he retweeted a tweet from 16 hours ago where he puts Benjamin SESKO, both Manchester United and Newcastle have informed RB Leipzig that they are speaking to the player. But as of now, no bids have been sent to Leipzig. So, again, both talking. But he has then retweeted this and quoted it with this. And this is the update. Benjamin SESKO. He gets what he wants at Newcastle, but he wants Manchester United. Or as Coldplay say it, you get what you want, but not what you need. And I did have a giggle to myself when he actually came out with that one. He is a witty guy, Jan Fjortov, but yeah, he is definitely there committing a little bit here with this one. Big reputation over there. in talking football and doing, well, a lot on the German side of things. Let's just say that he does do a lot with the foosball channel, and there is a realism in this, because it's, with all of the journalists, I think we'll start to hear now with a few other German or well-known German journalists coming out and saying this, but this is the biggest and most significant that anyone has actually, or anything that anybody's come out with right now. Janaga Fjortov here is the first one to really commit to say that Benjamin SESKO has made his mind up. He wants to go to Manchester United. But, and we need to put the big but on this here, United, like Romano said, are in with these meetings and checking on the conditions of that gentleman's agreement. We've had Florian Plettenberg of Sky Germany, very, very well respected in the journalist world in German football. As we know, he has come out and said that they want 80 million euros. United, I don't know if we can afford that, which is why we've gone to Leipzig and said that we want to get the details of this so-called gentleman's agreement that Romano is talking about. It's getting a little bit confusing, a bit complex, but it does look like there is definite movement from Manchester United's side of things. I've seen other reports just this morning again saying that Manchester United and representatives of the club are edging towards a Benjamin SESKO deal rather than an Ollie Watkins one. This morning it was on Watkins. Romano and the German journalist are pushing SESKO, and I've seen all of the British journalists that are over in the States that are talking directly with Manchester United seem to be pushing the Ollie Watkins side of things. Whichever way this goes, I'm not too sure how it's going to pan out, but here is the most significant update of all so far, I would say, in terms of Janaga Fjortov coming out and saying that Benjamin SESKO wants Manchester United. Where's he got that information from? How has he got that information? Obviously knows a lot and has a lot of connections in German football, and you can only assume that he's got it on good word that this is actually genuine now, and SESKO is fully on board with joining Manchester United. Apparently the personal terms for SESKO and Manchester United are set. There is no issue there at all, and all of a sudden we've got this. We was hearing from Romano this morning about Benjamin SESKO waiting to see who was actually in and bidding for him. He will make a decision. Romano actually did say if Manchester United don't make a bid, it's a here we go for Newcastle. He wants the Premier League. But I said this morning, why, if Newcastle have agreed personal terms, agreed a fee with RB Leipzig, and everything is in place, they want to make him the highest paid player at Newcastle. This is their proposal. Their project is to make him the highest paid at Newcastle United. This is how far Newcastle are going with this and how they want it. They've gone this far simply because they know that they're up against it. And this is how I was looking at it this morning. I thought that if that's there, then why are you not already... Why are you not already in there? Like, why is this not a medical box and SESKO's on his way? He's out training with Leipzig at the moment. He's still there. Happy as Larry. Like, he's perfectly fine. And Romano made that point this morning as well. He was saying that he's going to take his time and make sure that he makes the right decision for him. It just looks like now, and I said it again earlier on, that if he's not agreed to Newcastle after putting everything on the table, club and player-wise, and agreeing everything, if he's not said he wants to go there, and Leipzig will give him the option, they're not going to force him to Newcastle because they've come in with the biggest bid. This is how obviously Leipzig work, and they've gave him his word. Christopher Vivel obviously has done his work here behind the scenes, if this is really true coming out here from Fjortov. And he is holding out because he's waiting for Manchester United's move. He knows they're in. Romano's confirmed contact between clubs, face-to-face meetings. So this is club to club. This is as serious as it gets right now. United are finding out the details of this deal and are looking at making their move or not. Now that's the point I want to make here and be very clear on. It's still no offer for Benjamin SESKO, but United are in touch now and they're figuring out the details and everything that can work for them structurally wise for this transfer to happen. The wages for a young player like him are no big issue for Manchester United. They are happy with where it's at. That's not going to be a problem. that will be bonus-led, incentive-led, and everything like everyone else is on at Manchester United. It's going to be near 200 grand a week wage. It's going to be around about the Cunha and Bumo sort of mark for Manchester United if he does come. But obviously it comes down to structure. Now, if Leipzig say, and this has only been said here now at the moment, that the meeting has taken place and they want to know the conditions, Leipzig could have easily said to Manchester United here, sorry, no, this isn't happening. We're going with the bigger deal. That's not real. Now, we've seen this before. Now, I'm not saying that Sporting are a poorly run club, but there seemed to be a lot of mess when Hugo Viana left as a sporting director. And we've seen that develop with Arsenal and ENQUIRIES and that so-called gentleman's agreement with the agent. Do I think Leipzig are a better run club than Sporting? I'm not in a place to say. I just get the feeling that there is some kind of agreement here with Leipzig because of the way that club is run. They are a selling club. They brought buddy Xavi Simons in from PSG in January to sell him in August, in this summer's transfer window. So they know what they're doing. Their whole model is built on developing and finding talent and getting the maximum money for it. They're about to cash in this summer on Simons and SESKO, which will fund their whole next venture, whatever it is. Like, they're out of Europe. They need some money in, and they will sell these players. SESKO wants out. Leipzig know he wants out, and Leipzig will sell him. It all depends on that gentleman's agreement, whether Manchester United come in or not. And I think that's the biggest thing right now. It's if United have got the green light from that, and we're in, Watkins goes away, and it's all on Benjamin Sesko coming to United. I actually feel like if United get the green light on this so-called deal, it's into the negotiations of the structure of the deal, and then it will move a lot quicker than what a Ollie Watkins one would. Now, Ben Jacobs did fill us in this morning and say that there was a £50 million bid rumoured to be enough to take Ollie Watkins. It's still a lot of money for Manchester United to spend on a 29-year-old. And again, I haven't got a problem with that. I think it's a sensible decision going off Watkins' record, but it now looks like Manchester United have if Fjortov is right here, and there's no reason for me to believe that he's not going to come out and tweet this in this massive situation where you've got two huge football clubs in England and a German club in RB Leipzig selling this player to one of them two clubs. He's not going to come out and just throw this out there. Yeah, he's joked off the Coldplay lyric there and everything, but I think he's just being clever with that and a little bit smart, but I cannot see him doing it unless there is something in this here. And it makes sense. It makes complete sense because, well, we know that he said no or he's not accepted Newcastle's terms. I keep on saying it. If Newcastle are in and they are doing what Leipzig wants and they're doing what the player wants, they're meeting all conditions and he's not signed, why? Why is he not signed? It's because he's waiting for another offer, and there is only one more team in the reckoning for Benjamin Sesko, and that is Manchester United. That is it. So, again, just to go over everything as it broke down this morning, everybody, Fabrizio Romano was the first to come and say that Manchester United are now in face-to-face talks within the last 48 hours. Meetings have taken place with Leipzig and Manchester United, club to club, on a condition, a gentleman's agreement, that if Benjamin Sesko goes to Leipzig and asked to move to this particular club, there's an agreement in place where Manchester United will be able to buy Benjamin Sesko for a fixed fee and fixed add-ons on top. So a set price, basically. It's like the old ENQUIRIES situation again. Like these gentlemen's agreements all of a sudden, like intermediaries and gentlemen's agreements seem to be all the rave this transfer window, don't they? But that's what Romano said first of all. And then we've just brought up what Jan Hager Fjortov has said there, German football expert, of course, and obviously has a lot of contacts, well respected within the football journalist world as well. He has said that Benjamin Sesko wants Manchester United. He can get what he wants at Newcastle, but not what he needs. And that's Manchester United. That's what he wants. And I feel like now we are just waiting for the next instalment on this. But that is the most significant update that we've had to date so far. I am just scouring the internet now to make sure there is no other updates on this. There's a lot of people running in on this story now. Some people actually saying, get ready for some crazy goals, going that deep, that this is going to happen. There is other news regarding Anthony as well, rejecting certain proposals from other clubs. He only wants to move to Real Betis. There's all sorts of different bits of news going on. We will cover it all a bit later on as well, of course, with the Anthony stuff in particular. Let's just see exactly what happens from this point. Manchester United have made direct contact with Leipzig over the past 48 hours to begin concrete talks about the deal for SESKO. That will be your headline. When you read into it more with what Romano said, it breaks down on what I've just described, in that we are now looking into that so-called gentleman's agreement to get a better price for Benjamin SESKO. He also touched on Kobbie Mainoo, and there is nobody in for Kobbie Mainoo as well, Fabrizio Romano said on that, just to bring that up to date. There is nothing going to be happening. Let's just see what else we've got in here. I'm just clicking into a few things. Yeah, there are lots of people dropping certain cryptic hints all over the internet at the moment as to what is about to come. I think we could be about to get a big update here. This is massive. I think something bigger is coming, and that Manchester United might be about to enter talks over the transfer of Benjamin SESKO. This is where it's pointing to me. Everything seems to be leading this way, and I can't see anything to say the other. From what Romano has said to Fjortov, obviously every other journalist, we're waiting for a few more to come in now and actually get to the bottom of where this actual transfer is, because it is looking like it's good news for Man United fans. If you are a Benjamin SESKO fan and you would like him to come to Manchester United, this is where we're actually moving to. Let's get some comments from you lot in the live chat. Please pop a like on the video if you are excited that we could potentially have convinced Benjamin SESKO that this is the right club to come to and not Newcastle. Could it be Brian and Boomo Part 2 for Newcastle fans, with Manchester United convincing a player without European football again to come and play at Old Trafford? It's looking likely at the moment from what we're seeing here. This is significant, a very, very significant update on Benjamin SESKO. Let's see what we've got in the chat. Get some comments in, everybody, please. Let's see what we've got here. David says, hopefully this is true. We all know we need a proper number 9 to lead the line. Simple as that. Let's have it right now. Rasmus has been a disaster, lads. A lot of people would agree. We did pay 50 million for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 80 million for Anthony, 70 million for Casemiro, and 75 million for Højlund. So we can't really complain. In that one, no, they weren't really the right players, were they? And they weren't under Ineos, though, and that was the difference. This would be, I think, when we look at it, I think this could push higher than what we paid for Brian and Boomo, but probably similar. It just depends on the structure for Manchester United on this deal right now. That I think is all that's being discussed, I think, for United at this point. And if that gentleman's agreement is genuine and is real, and obviously, again, I keep bringing the name up only because everybody else is as well, but it is genuine, it's real, that Christopher Vivel would know if anything like this was genuine, and he is the one that's driving this, as Romano has said. I feel like Manchester United are definitely in and on Benjamin SESKO now. I think this has moved to that point where we are now in a position where that bid is probably around the corner. If you read into this and it's genuine, like I said, which there is no reason for us not to think, we are at that point now where a decision needs to happen because the season is round the corner. I'm sure Benjamin SESKO himself would have been pushing on to Christopher Vivel to get a genuine decision. I'm with you if you commit to me. All of this, I think, has been going on behind the scenes. It must have been, because we're in this now and we're finding out that he wants Manchester United. So surely this is the case. And the next thing we're going to hear is maybe an update from Romano, another significant update on where this deal is now expected to go from here. But this is now genuinely looking like Manchester United have won the race in terms of convincing SESKO. Can they get the deal done with Leipzig? All ifs and buts so far still. And like we said, Romano confirmed the meetings, what was going on in the meetings, and maybe they got told something different and we have to just wait it out. We will see. let's see what happens here past this point. Maybe we'll get another update, like I said, from Romano coming in before this afternoon. Before this evening into this late afternoon. SESKO goes wrong. Ruben sacked by Christmas. Well, you can look at it in a negative way. I look at this and say this is definitely a huge positive for Manchester United. If we manage to again convince another top striker in Europe that it's better to come to Manchester United than it is to go anywhere else, I think this is a massive positive for United. But look, I don't think it's going to go wrong when you've got better players around him. I don't. I just think this adds to what we've already got. And there is a massive, massive push for Benjamin Sesko, and has been from Manchester United for a long time. We've been building up to this moment, and now we're here. And let's see what Manchester United do, because we needed to know whether Sesko wanted either United or Newcastle. This has pretty much convinced it, if your stuff is right. And now we're down to see what money Man United have got. Have they been kidding us a little bit here? Because if they go in for Sesko now without us selling anybody else, then really, where's that money come from? That's the question that you need to ask. And obviously, we knew this the other day from what Ornstein said about us going for Ekatike. We knew that was going to be Brewsters and big money, and we're doing the same thing here with Benjamin Sesko. So, yeah, where's the money come from, United? What's going on? From everything that we've read so far, there isn't any deals that I can see of players leaving United to raise money for us to go in on Benjamin Sesko. I don't know if we're using the money that we've made from the tour and Sancho, Alanga, Alvaro Fernandez, Oyedele. That worked out round about 30 million in total, what Manchester United brought together. Is that the first instalment? And is Rashford's wages on top of that enough for us to go forward and get this deal done for Benjamin Sesko? So from what Romano said, just to bring it up on that agreement thing earlier on, it was around 70 million euros fixed and then a fixed 5 million in add-ons. So if we work out, I think United's going off Manchester United's calculations and what we know Romano is talking about. Let me just work this out now. So total agreement would be, let me just get it now. 1 second, everyone. So it would be 70 million euros down. So that works out at 60 million quid. And then what you're looking at past that is 5 million in add-ons, which is approximately 4.3 million pounds. So Manchester United are looking at getting this together and done and wrapped up with add-ons for less than Bryan Mbeumo. 65 million for Benjamin Sesko is what's being spoken about. Now, it could be a little bit more because Romano did say between a certain amount in terms of euros and what was a down payment. I think United are in and around 60 to 65 million here. And this gets this deal done and over the line. If the structure is right for the club and we can get this deal done for Benjamin Sesko, then this will move very, very quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. So, yeah, let's just see exactly how this develops now. I'm just checking on the news again to make sure no one else has spoken about this or said anything extra at all. Let me just see if anything has come up. Nothing that I can actually see at the moment. If we can get him for around 65 plus add-ons, it's beautiful. It might be less. I'm here 2x. It might be less is what I'm reading here at the moment. Look, that I'm not saying that that's a definite. I'm just going into what Romano said earlier on and putting some sums together off a sort of like a roundup of a figure. It's an approximate figure. It's not a dead cert one on this one. So that's what it's looking like right now. We're looking at a potential deal in and around 60 to 65 million for Benjamin Sesko for Manchester United to make it happen. I think that's doable for Manchester United. If you're going to buy Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha for just over the same amount, they're a bit older. Yes, they're prem proven and worth that more investment in their prime. But Sesko's been going for a while now at the top level, 2 seasons into the Bundesliga as well. This is the right time for him. If we don't get him, one of our rivals is going to get him. And that, I think, is a double barrel hit for Manchester United. It's not only strengthening what we've got, it also means that we are weakening Newcastle at the moment because they're going to lose Isak. And that leaves Newcastle then scraping the barrel for everyone else. There are other options for Manchester United, of course. The Watkins deal could come in. The Mitrovic deal could come in. Vlahovic, players like this could come into this if we don't make this happen. But there just seems to have been so much more effort and a lot more talk from all of the journalists over the last couple of days in this Benjamin SESKO situation to it not be something that's going to be true. It just doesn't feel that way. It really doesn't. There's also news flying around at the moment that Manchester United have contacted Manchester City over Stefan Ortega as their goalkeeper. I would take Ortega in a heartbeat. I think he's a great goalkeeper. I would definitely take him. I don't know. With Trafford going there, does that mean that Ortega could come to United? That's just another little bit of news that's come out. I'll probably go into more detail regarding Antony later on, but this Benjamin Sesko news, I think, is going to cook up a bit of a storm this afternoon now, I feel, and we could be getting close to something significant happening. That's all I keep seeing here. Let's just go yet. And like I said there, there's lots of people talking about this. If you want to know where Fjortov lies regarding any transfers in the past, Janaga Fjortov was the man that broke the Sancho news for Manchester United. He is well known and is well respected in German football. He knows an awful lot about what goes on over there, and you can take this as something has definitely happened or he has found something out. That's how important Janaga Fjortov saying this is right now. You could even say he is as close to a tier 1 in German football as you can get. Some would say even more important than Christian Volk and Florian Plettenberg in what he says. He doesn't come out and spiel absolute nonsense and just for the click. He actually comes out with significant news for Fjortov. Now, I'm not blowing smoke up his ass to try and make this happen because I would like United to beat Newcastle to a transfer. You could easily say I'm red tinting this a little bit here. I'm trying to pick up someone that I don't actually know or not about, but we know that Fjortov is well connected, and that's all we need to know. And for him to come out and say something means that there is some indication behind the scenes here that Benjamin Sesko and his preference is Manchester United. And that does sound good, doesn't it? It does sound good that we actually have convinced another player ahead of a Champions League rival. Well, not even a Champions League rival, someone in the Champions League, in the Premier League. Like, how many times are we going to do this in one summer? We get Sesko over the line. Where are we at in terms of crediting Ineos with this window so far? This could be massive for Manchester United. It really could. When it comes to projects, give Ruben some credit on this as well, because Brian Mbeumo was talking the other night to Rio Ferdinand about being convinced by Ruben Amorim and the whole project. This is a project for me. And this was about European football. So we have to give some props to our head coach here with this. And again, the team that Ineos have developed, Ruben Amorim and his project, in convincing these players like Cunha and Mbeumo, Christopher Vivel and his connections in speaking and getting this deal over with Sesko, and then speaking to Ruben, and everybody being on the same page. When we talk about football structures and we talk about what Manchester United have missed for the last 10 years, this summer is providing proof that a structure does work, even when you're not competing at the highest level. They want to be part of getting United back. And this could be Man United's front line for the next 5 years. Half a decade of this front line in this business that we have done this summer alone. That's, I think, and for all, if that rumour is true about that price, to get this all done and then 3 players in for less than 200 million, it's pretty damn good for me. Pretty damn good. The future does look quite bright for Manchester United when it comes to the present players that have got years, and then the even younger players coming through also on this one. So, yeah, like I said, I want to see this definitely hit by Romano, first of all. I do. I love Fjortov, even though Cantona did try and break his ribcage when we played him when he was up for Swindon Town in the Premier League back in the 90s. I didn't like him then, but he is a really likeable guy. I hope he's right. I really do, because he'll probably get slaughtered by the United fan base if he's not got this one right. But I just don't see it. I don't see him going out and just making up complete and utter crap just to get clicks. It's not how he operates or works. And I think he is. I think he's bang on with this one. I really do. And you know what? That story that I said, Janaga Fjortov, I'm saying this now, truthful, and you can ask, Graham was with me as well, and Alfie was with me. We was on the tube leaving Wembley after United beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final, and Jan Fjortoft was sat right next to us singing along with Manchester United songs after that cup final. The man is a legend. Honestly, he's a legend for just doing that, for me. That's my experience with Jan Fjortoft. I didn't even know that he actually followed me on X. I've only just found that out now as well. Hey, FUTV's growing. We're getting the tier 1 journalists liking us now as well, everyone. But no, that is a true story. Honestly, the guy is top. I just hope that he's right and he doesn't get slaughtered by the United fan base online because the people want a striker and the United fan base is ready for it. Claws are out. Rawls with a super chat says, new 9 coming in cement Erasmus going out the door. That again will develop, I think, from this moment. Like, where's the money coming from? Where is the money coming from? That's what I want to know. What have we got? Is there something cooking in the background for Manchester United right now? Is there something actually there going on that we don't know about? I would love to be a fly on the wall in these boardroom meetings at Manchester United right now. Is there something happening with Garnacho? Is it Anthony, Malacia? What's happening with the goalkeepers? Honestly, is Sancho gone? Why don't we give Leipzig Sancho? He's happy to go Germany. Let him go play at Leipzig. There you go. And even like Anthony, I wish Anthony would just see sense. Like that story that came out before saying he's turning down all these offers because he only wants to play at Betis. I mean, come on, mate. Like, really? Maybe they want to take Malacia. I'm thinking anything here right now. There could be all sorts of players thrown into the mix. Maybe they want to give him buddy Rasmus Højlund. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Look, it's pure guesswork on that side of things. I just want to know where the money's coming from, how we're getting this done. And if they have kept it under wraps, then I'm all for it. To spend this amount of money without selling anybody is big. But don't forget, like United have got money. We bought Mbumo, we bought Cunha without selling anyone. We made around about 21 million quid in sales of players and the penalty fee for Sancho. So Oyedele, sell-on fee, Anthony Elanga, sell-on fee, and obviously Alvaro Fernandez, sell-on fee. And then we had the 5 million for Sancho. We made about 9 million-ish was reported from that Asia tour at the end of the season. There's 30 million. We just saved 17 million in wages from Marcus Rashford. There is money coming in, and obviously we're going to be paid for this US tour as well right now, even though it's taken a loss according to reports. But United will be paid well to be competing in this Premier Summer Series. And so United have generated a bit of money. Maybe they've got enough just to get through this first year of instalments, and then they can look past that, because you can imagine the players that are guaranteed to be gone next year. Well, they will be, because 3 of them are out of contract no matter what happens this summer, and that's Sancho, Maguire and Casemiro. So you're looking at nearly 30 plus million in wages for them 3 alone out of the door. That could easily be your next instalment for Benjamin Sesko. And if he helps us get into Europe, quid's in. And that's how it works. Are United willing to take that gamble to get back in European football? Benjamin Sesko is a bit of a gamble, but he is an absolute beast of a player. And I just think he's the closest you can think of to Gyökeres, in my opinion, for Ruben Amorim to try and mould something similar to what he had at Sporting. That's how I see it anyway. And I think that's why United are looking at him. And I think Ruben would take him. The recruitment team like him. And Ineos would love to pay for a player like that. That's exactly the type of star. He's not even a star yet. He's still up and coming. Yeah, it's a lot of money for a young player, but he could improve at Manchester United. There's all the doom and gloom merchants, which, yeah, I can see why you would think that after what's happened with his football club the last 10 years. But anyone actually thinking that the signings that we've made and then someone like Sesko coming in might actually benefit from them signings coming in and the new environment that Luke Shaw's been talking about, and no more slackers at Manchester United, and it being completely different now and everyone's loving it, and it feels like a real culture building at Manchester United. Anyone thinking that maybe Sesko coming in now is the perfect time for a player to be hitting it at Manchester United? I don't know. Anyone out there like it actually wants to look at this in a positive way instead of putting it down? Maybe we can dream a little bit sometimes and actually think that we can actually get something moving here at Manchester United. But one thing you cannot deny, even if you are sceptical of this transfer, is that Manchester United's strike force next season is going to look completely different. And I see this here now as a SESKO, an Mbeumo, a Cunha, an Ahmad, a Bruno, and half of that team have got goals galore in them. Something we didn't have last season at all. That, I think, is huge. That's 3 players that walk into Manchester United starting 11 that we've just spent just under 200 million on. We spent fortunes before in previous windows with players that have not even got on the pitch. They're just on the bench. That's the difference with Manchester United this time in this window. I honestly feel like right now, this is probably the most excited I've been to watch and start a season with Manchester United. Like, don't get me wrong, it's the excitement every single season, isn't there? But this one just seems to have that little bit more zest. Like, this transfer window has been good. It has been a very, very good transfer window for Manchester United. I don't care what anybody said. I was always banging that drum from the start, and you know it. I got a bit concerned about Mbeumo, and I was worried. I was, because of Brentford's stupidity. And I'm glad that that came out into the open, that United actually did play hardball, but still got their man. And I said, judge this window by the time it finishes. And all of that, and we might not even get SESKO yet, but I'm going off what Fjortov said here, what Romano has said, and what everybody else has said. Like, it is genuine, it is real. And I think now we're moving to a point here where we can now start feeling a lot more comfortable and confident that we might actually have this one over the line. Holding up the ball and bringing players into play. Shot power, really happy if it goes through. SESKO, hopefully a red. Just because you're tall doesn't mean you're good. You're a good footballer. Who said that though? Like, he's 6'5". Like, some of the best footballers on the planet are not even 6 foot. He's a different type of player. He's a beast. And do you know what he's good at? Heading a bastard ball. Was the last time we had a striker who could head the ball at the back of the net? Van Persie, Zlatan, like Cavani, these type of strikers, like, non-existent at Manchester United. Rashford, useless. Martial, forget it. Honestly, like Rasmus, I can't remember him scoring a header I can think of off the top of my head. Now you've got someone who's a master of that art, and you've got creativity all over the pitch. I'm talking like you've got Ahmad running down the wing, crossing the ball. That could be going into Mbeumo, Cunha, SESKO, with Bruno following in as well. I mean, come on. If you don't get excited by that, then you really are in for a horrible season. Honestly, you might as well not watch football. That is exciting, no matter what and which way you look at it. You could be an opposition fan right now, and you look at that front line and you go, yeah, that's actually all right. You would, even though you hate Manchester United. If you're an opposition fan right now, you're looking at it and you're going, yeah, they might actually be a threat next season. And I tell you what, Arsenal fans, you may be confident with the signings that you've made, and you've had a great window. Don't get me wrong, like, you've done well. But you're thinking all of a sudden, shit, why did we have to have Man United on the opening day? I can feel the football banter and that whole buzz factor coming back now. I can just feel it creeping in. It feels good. It does feel good. 500 likes tells me that you lot are happy as well. Please keep liking the video, everybody. A surprise live show because of the news that Jan Fjortov has just come out with. And again, I will just read out that tweet that he has just come out with. In fact, I won't, because I have only gone and lost it. I'll find it again. Here we go. Benjamin SESKO wants Manchester United. That is the news that Jan Fjortov has just come out with. His tweet, to be 100% accurate on it, he gets what he wants at Newcastle, but he wants Manchester United. Or as Coldplay say it, you get what you want, but not what you need. And that was the tweet that has sent social media and the internet into overdrive right now. And there's a reason behind us doing this live show right now. So again, I can see why everyone's getting a little bit more excited. And that will wrap things up for us right there, everybody. Massive thank you to everyone again. Absolutely loved that one. A little extra live show today. We will be back later on, as always. And of course, make sure that you are there. Make sure you have given this video a like. Make sure that you actually do. Let me just check. We're getting more coming out here. Oh, right. No, that's nothing. Yeah. Nothing interesting. I'm just double checking. Like, every time I check my screen, something comes up. I get a little bit carried away. Sorry about that. I am a United fan. I'm allowed to get excited, by the way. We are professional to a certain level, and then fan takes over. But that's the beauty of YouTube, innit? And that's the beauty of our community as well. I can see so many different opinions on it. I was supposed to finish them one. I get carried away again. Right. We will be talking later on, of course, and I will keep you all up to date with everything that happens throughout. If there is any more news, I will be there for you again, of course, like we was today. Extra shows, third one of the day, I think, already. Yeah, so let's see what happens now, and let's see what develops. But that is your update. Romano says the last 48 hours, Manchester United have had face-to-face contacts with RB Leipzig. There is a condition in SESKO's contract, a gentleman's agreement that United have been checking on, that if they go for SESKO, they can make that happen. It is apparently working out, all in all, 60 plus 5 million in add-ons, going off the calculations, if that is true. And Romano, to be fair, hasn't said that RB Leipzig have said that that is true. It could be more yet. And I just want to make that very, very clear to everybody. And then Iago Fjortov has come out and said that Benjamin Sesko wants Manchester United. And on that bombshell, I will leave you to it, everyone. And I'll be back later on. Give the video a like on the way out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, everyone. And I will see you in a bit. This is going to be a good old day.